Hello, listeners of the Art Versations podcast.
Hi. My name is. Hi. My name. Hi. My name is Broadway Classic.
Let's hear it.
Boom, boom. Thank you, DJ Chris, for that intro theme. Welcome back to another episode of Art Versations. Artists, conversations, put them together, you get Art Versations. See what I did there? If this is your first time tuning in, hi, I'm Bri, like the cheese, and I love art. I'm assuming you do too, or maybe you just clicked on this podcast because you know the guest. But either way, thank you for joining. How are we doing this week? We'll check in. Feeling hopeful and healthy, maybe, I hope. It's a weird time. I've been really enjoying watching Saturday Night Live every weekend. I feel like a little bit of humor is so needed right now. A laugh or two, goes a long way. Also, Bowen Yang, one of the newest cast members on the show, is a gift to humanity. Holy shit, his French and Canadian impression from last Saturday's episode literally granted me a new spirit. So, Bowen, thank you for what you bring to SNL. I don't think you're listening to this, but thank you for that. On that note, another funny man on my radar right now is Ricardo Lopez. I sat down with him over Zoom. Ricardo is a triple threat performer and also a director who I met 2 summers ago at the Performing Arts Project. He is a hilarious human who gives me some insight on what it's like being an American artist right now. He's also a dear friend of mine, and it brings me so much joy to share his insight with you guys. If you've got an hour to kill, stick around. Join us for an old-fashioned conversation. Here's episode 3 of season 3.
Well, I wish I had the ability to sit down and focus. I can't do it. We should switch. Which is Freaky Friday. Oh my God. Can we do that?
Are you Lindsay Lohan?
Oh my God, yes. I'm
Okay.
Lindsay Lohan. You're Jamie
Okay.
Lee Curtis.
Hi, Ricardo.
Hi, Bri.
How are you doing in this current moment?
I am doing good. I got a cat on my lap. I'm looking at your beautiful face. I'm doing pretty good.
You're so cute and sweet.
How are you?
I'm good. How is Cinder doing?
Cinder is good. She is currently purring on my lap. She I know that people can't see this, but she's just in a little ball on my lap. It's the cutest thing ever. And if you're jealous, I get it,
I am jealous of your cat participation in this podcast. We've actually never had a cat on the podcast.
Hey, that's Cinder, you're famous.
So look at that. There's a first for everything.
Amazing.
You're not here. You're over Zoom right now. And that makes me sad. But our borders are closed up.
Wait, really?
Yeah, we can't go see each other.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
You didn't? Did you know?
I didn't know.
Oh, okay. You're so
I
Southern, I guess it doesn't really matter. But yeah, what'd you say? Sorry.
I'm in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess Katy, but yeah. So far south, it doesn't even.
KD, is that like a place in Houston?
Katy,
Katy.
Yeah, Katy's like Houston. Houston has a bunch of cities that surround it, but it's Katy's 20 minutes out from Houston. So yeah.
A little bit more suburban.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know a lot about the states. I wish I knew more, but I'm learning.
It's cool. I mean, I wish I knew more about Canada. I'm learning as well, but it's a process. It's a different country.
Yes, completely. I don't like to get too political on the podcast, but our governments are very different. But I think there's still a very similar way of looking at art. I think we both see art in a similar way.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've had I mean, I've had a handful of Canadian friends and mostly American friends because, we're in the States, but like the way I mean, I feel like the British really have a different way of looking at art and like language, but
Hmm.
Canadians and Americans, we're neighbors, but more than that, we share a kind of culture.
Yeah, like
It's not,
Western.
yeah, yeah, it's not a perfect overlap, but we do see a lot of things in common.
Hmm. Which is good because I think we can help each other,
Yeah.
you know? Well, and I loved going to New York. It was always like a home away from home for me to be there. And I mean, I can't believe how you would have felt like living in that place before the pandemic, going to school at Pace. Like, what was the city like for you? What was that lifestyle like for you?
Oh my God, it was magical. I wish I would have gone out more
Mm.
because so many times I had homework and I had to like stay in and study or whatever. But I don't know. I saw so many shows and I went out to Brooklyn and I loved parks. That was like the one thing that I truly missed was like nature. But I could always go to Central Park or Battery or Prospect even. But
Hmm.
it was amazing because it's so electric. And I describe New York as a drug. But
Mm.
after like month 4, I was like, all right, is this over? This is exhausting. But then like month 5, I was like, I can never leave here. I'm addicted to it. Definitely. I'm dependent on it.
A
um,
true addiction to the New York
yeah.
lifestyle.
And now it's a totally different, I don't know what it's going to be like if and when I go back.
Hmm.
Um, but it was nice to get, I mean, I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, New York has had a million different stages of life, right? And like people describe it as pre 9/11, post 9/11, and now they're going to describe it as post COVID.
Yeah.
So I lived in that, I guess, 20-year frame of post 9/11, pre COVID. I was there for 7 months. It wasn't anything crazy, but it did feel awesome.
Mm.
It
I'm
was
glad.
like the air was just dirty and raw and awesome and just full of energy. And who knows what it'll be when we go to visit.
Yeah. Especially like Broadway.
Oh yeah.
That whole industry I feel like is has really taken a turn. Um and like you say, it was so full of life. It was so electric. It was like, I mean, the lights, there's always that iconic look of Broadway where the lights are always on all night long. And,
Yeah.
like you say, it's like a drug. You get so intoxicated and like almost alive because of it. Like you literally like become alive. Like every time I would step off from my flight going into New York, I would just all of a sudden feel like a different human for like just because of the city. Like that's just the vibe you get, I feel like.
Yeah, it's so ever changing and it changes you and I don't want to sound too granola, but it's really just like magic.
Yeah. What was like one of your favorite shows that you saw?
I saw Wicked 4 times.
Four.
4 times.
Super
I
fan.
couldn't get enough of it. I just kept going back. Also, tickets were free. I'm not supposed to say that, but I don't go there anymore. So tickets were free.
At school? Like you
Yeah,
were able to get free?
they would give us they say it like on the tour, but they're like, you're not supposed to say it. And I'm like, all right,
Mm,
how am I not I want to tell everyone. But
yeah. I'd want to brag about it all the time, just being like, I
oh my
have
God.
free tickets.
It's so I mean, it was crazy. They would be like, okay, sixth floor, we got 18 tickets to Wicked, first come, first serve. And I remember I would literally run to the because at Pace the buildings are like a few blocks away from each other, and I lived in a place on Broadway and John, which was in the real south, but the building where they gave out the tickets was like 5 blocks away, right? So I would
Mm.
literally run there. I think I ran there like 3 times for tickets to Wicked. Definitely, I ran there a million times, and I would say Wicked was my favorite show that I
Mm-hmm,
saw. It
mm-hmm.
was just amazing, and I'd never seen it before.
Okay. Well,
Um,
yeah. It's who was the alphabet at the time? Do you remember?
Hannah Corneau.
Oh, okay. I don't know her.
Her voice was amazing. She
I bet.
is. I got to see like the casts change. It was so surreal.
Oh, like through your 4 times, you got to see
Yeah,
like different people. Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, it was crazy.
I mean, there's nothing like dancing through life. Like that song. I remember when we learned the choreography to it at that class at TPAP.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
oh, there's nothing like that song. It's so wonderful. And every time I listen to the cast recording, like I have to dance. I have to move along with it. It's so good.
It really is.
That's a great show to see 4 times.
Yeah, and
You know?
I think that was the only show that I got to see so many times.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it was truly just a masterpiece.
And I guess there's a reason why it's been there for so long, you know?
Yeah,
That show?
it's one of those shows that, like every time you watch it, you find something new, and it's just. Oh, so sorry, someone's calling me. Um, so cool,
Yeah.
so cool,
Yeah.
so theatrical and extravagant. I love it.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you on that. So yeah, so you were at Pace. You were in musical theater, right? Not acting?
Yes, ma'am. Musical theater.
Mm-hmm. So you had like a crazy load of classes of just all 3 styles of art, singing, dancing, acting, all that stuff.
Actually, no. The first year at Pace is like they set it up so it's an easy first year so that you
Mm-hmm.
can adjust to the city.
Oh,
Um, so yeah, I had a lot of free time actually.
interesting.
Yeah, which is not what most people say,
Yeah.
but I got to explore a decent amount. Second semester got a little heavier with classwork.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to like build, right?
Right, right, right.
I'm taking a gap year right now. I don't know if I told you that.
Yeah, I want to hear about like how difficult that decision was to make.
Super. It
Yeah.
was super hard.
Yeah, I bet. Like in all honesty, like so many other young artists are going through this too, where they're like, I don't want to learn online,
Yeah.
or I can't learn online, or something like that. Like, how was that for you? How did you make that decision?
It took me like 3 months, and I know for some people it took like 2 days, and they were like, "Nah, fuck this." But it took me 3 months because that's how I work. And I was just weighing the options and um and the cost of university, which is ridiculous in the States.
It's crazy.
Um, and it was I made a pros and cons list and everything, and I realized that I was like, okay, I could stay at Pace and do musical theater and like leave a good performer, like a really solid performer. Um, I know I'd leave a really kick-ass singer, good actor,
Mm-hmm.
decent dancer.
Yes, you're a great dancer.
Well, thank you, but I was like, after everything happened, after the shit hit the fan in March, I was like, I love this, but I think I need to change. I need to be an actor. And I know
Mm.
that wasn't your question, but
Oh, it's okay.
we're getting into it anyways.
Oh, we're getting into it. It's a whole topic. Yeah, like eh, to be in a program that is so big, and like Pace University, like that's a huge university to be going to. But to not feel like you fit in or that you belong there, like that's hard. That's hard because you feel like you should, right? You feel like, oh, I should be going to Pace, or I should be going to Juilliard, or I should be going to, these big schools. But that's the kind of weird question about studying theater or studying art. Like, it's not always the right place for you, or the right program, or the right teachers, the right people in your class. Like it's so pick and choose. It's kind of luck,
Yeah. When I visited, I was like, this is a place for me. But when I actually got there, I realized, it took me a while, but I was like, maybe it isn't. And that's nothing against the program. The program's great, and
Yeah.
it's not that it's a bad school or anything. It's just it wasn't for me, and I realized that what I wanted for my career was different. But on the other hand, there's always this like thing in my head that's like, do I go and like stay with this program that I know has a good name? I know the showcase is well attended, or do I take a risk and maybe end up at a school with, not so good a name, not so much a showcase, but, training that's right for me.
Mm.
And it's weird because I'm a person who loves networking. Like I don't know why. I love it.
I feel like you're the only person who's ever told me that you like networking, or like you that you enjoy making connections like in that way. Like so many people tell me like, oh, networking is so hard, it's so much work,
I am, maybe that's true. I just love it. I don't know why. My dad, from a very young age, he was like, always network. And I was like, all right, okay, I'll do it. Maybe that's why, but
Yeah, well, it's a big part of our, career.
yeah, it is. It is. And that's often what gets you in the room, I guess, more than, I don't know, I'm still in school, but it's just this thing that I like to do. So it's like taking this risk, artistry or business, because I know that like the business is at pace, the connections are good, but the artistry wasn't perfect for me. Anyways, it was a hard decision, but it was one that I had to make, and it's been a rough couple months, honestly,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And I mean, like 54% of American like grown children are living with their parents again or something.
Really? Wow.
Which is like the highest number since the Depression.
Oh, so like since COVID hit, eh? People have moved back home. Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably similar in Canada. I'm not sure, but because like, I feel very grateful to have my own place in that sense, like just to be able to live in my own space, and because that is such a privilege right now. People are losing their jobs left and right, But I mean, do you enjoy moving home? Like, do you enjoy living with your parents?
Yeah, it's just my mom and my grandmother and my
Your mom
sister and my brother.
Gotcha.
Just the four of 5 of us. Yeah, it's fine. It's good, and it's nice to be home and do my classes in my room and everything. But it's still hard, It's something about like getting the freedom to be an adult and go out at night and walk the Brooklyn Bridge and at 4 a.m. and then going back home, and it's like, well, you have to DoorDash at 8 to be home by 10 to be up by 9. It's different because you have chores at 9:30, and it's humbling. I can honestly say this year has been very humbling. I've never felt so humble in my damn life.
That's great.
my best friend Catherine, she always goes, I hope to God this doesn't humble me, which is my favorite saying now.
Turns out it will humble you to live in this lifestyle, to be back home with your parents, with your mom and your grandmother. Oh my goodness. Yeah, like just to live under the same roof that you lived under when you were a child, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Is that like your childhood home that you're in right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about this before, but the American in Paris poster that's been up there for
Love it.
6 years since I was, oh my God, in 9th grade in high school.
Oh my goodness.
So it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's surreal.
You have all of your like nostalgia right there in your room,
Yeah, I tried to move it out, but I got tired and I didn't.
That is okay.
That's what you missed on?
Are you still watching it right now? Because I remember you telling me you were rewatching it.
Well, I'm so ADHD that I can't like finish one thing. I'm on season 1 of Glee, season 3 of The Walking Dead, season 3 of The Golden Girls, season 4 of The Good Place. I cannot. Goodness. Oh, and season 4 of Legend of Korra. I cannot stick to one thing.
So many genres too, like anime, comedy, action with The Walking Dead. Look at you.
I'm just so hyperactive that well, maybe not unfocused. Maybe that's the word.
But you also like have the capability to do that. Like I'm the complete opposite. I have to sit down and finish something. And if I don't, I have an abandonment problem. Like I freak out. I wish I had more ability to like multitask or like to like be able to pull from different things at the same time.
Well,
I'm
I
not
wish I
good
had
at
the
it.
ability to sit down and focus. I can't do it. We should switch. Which is Freaky Friday. Oh my God. Can we do that?
Are
wanna
you
be
Lindsay
Jamie Lee-
Lohan?
Oh my God. Yes. Yes. I'm
Okay.
Lindsay Lohan. You're Jamie
Okay.
Lee Curtis.
Perfect. Maybe this Zoom somehow will like magically switch our lives. I don't know.
I wish you knew how it felt to be in me or whatever they say. I don't know.
And then they're in like some restaurant, right? And it's like the fortune cookie. Oh my God. What was the early 2000s? I don't even know.
Ridiculous movie.
So ridiculous. And that's what you missed on Glee. Oh, man. I was thinking about how like because we send each other TikToks like all the time over direct message. And I want to know what your opinion on TikTok, like what the appeal is for people. Why do so many people use it? What is it about TikTok that is so interesting and funny and popular right now?
I think that it covers so many genres. Like it's got thirst traps, it's got singers, amazing dancers like you, comedians. I saw this one really cool like fight scene that like they were doing at some outdoor theater or something. It's they have everything. It's like YouTube but faster.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I guess I mean for me I just love the comedy aspect of it. I dislike all the thirst traps because I'm like, please don't come after me.
You can dislike?
Yeah. If you hold it, you can dislike it, and then it can say, "Don't show me videos like these." Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean. So like you sort of catered the algorithm to things that you don't want. Oh, wow. I didn't know you could do that.
I figured if they already like know all my information, I might as well help them out to get me the best stuff that makes me laugh.
The For You page really is for you.
And it's crazy like how much data they steal that I like recognize. Like I'll be talking about Bette Midler one day, and the next day my For You page is like full of Bette Midler, and I won't even type the word Bette Midler. They're just listening, and I'm like, y'all, you can't like be more sus about it if you're gonna steal my info.
Mm-hmm. No, they're always there. They're always got the little fly on the wall, just waiting to give you something. And then that's what brings you back to the app every time, right? Like you open it up and oh, look, there's something that I actually want to talk about and engage in. It's kind of creepy. And recently, because I just watched the documentary The Social Dilemma. Did I recommend it to you?
You did, and I haven't watched it. But
Okay.
my mom was like, let's watch it, and then I left.
If you have an hour and a half to kill and you're in a good headspace, watch it. Because it's really truthful about like how social media apps and like Google like actually take all of our information and change who we are in the real world.
Oof.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really creepy. But that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna, I'm still on TikTok. I'm still on Instagram. I'm still engaging in these apps because I think there's such a social aspect to it. And right now, since we're all, dealing with this pandemic, a lot of the ways that we engage is online because it's a lot easier.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely have that problem where I'm, some days I want to delete the apps because I'm like, Instagram is a lie, all of it. And Facebook, I don't know how bad it is in Canada, but like this whole year has just been so politically charged and so many emotions. And it's just so, I don't know, it's horrifying to watch sometimes.
Yeah.
And, TikTok's stealing my data. It's like, I don't know if I'm better off with or without these apps.
I don't know either. Also, like, because you're, how old are you again? You're like 2 years
I'm
older than
19
me.
years old, baby.
Yeah. So you're like, we're in the same Gen Z, right? So like we grew up in this age of like, I don't really remember a time when there wasn't phones. Like I did, I was alive when there weren't like these devices. But when I grew up and being a preteen and like finding my maturity, it was a lot of it was online. You know, that's how I made my friends. That's how I made my connections. That's how I expressed myself. So now here I am, a 22-year-old, and that's still a big part of my life.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
crazy, and
Because
we're
it's
really
all I've known.
exactly, yeah.
Mhm.
And we're the first generation to go through it, so in a way, we're amazing pioneers.
We pioneered the shit out of this.
She just did
And
the Debbie Ryan ear thing. I know y'all can't see, but I need everyone to know this. I love that.
the
God,
amount of times I do that little gesture of like pushing my hair above my ear, it's bad. See, that's TikTok is taking over my life. This is who I am now.
exactly, yeah.
No, it's good though. It's just fun. It's fun. We're fine. Everything's good.
Everything's good. Everything's chill. Yeah. What was the thing you said right before you did the ear thing? That totally threw me. Because I love that so much.
I wish I could tell you. I think I said like, it's all I've ever known. It's all who I am. Like, I don't know.
Right.
I don't remember.
Yes. Okay. I had something to say.
Shit.
Okay. Wait. No, here it is. Okay.
Okay.
So
go.
I grew up in the Virgin Islands, right?
Okay.
And I moved to Texas when I was 12. But in the Virgin Islands, like I remember growing up specifically, the Wi-Fi was shit.
Oh yeah.
Like, island-wide. No one had good Wi-Fi, so we didn't really have that option. So I really didn't discover the internet until I was 12,
Oh, okay.
which was, a little late, but didn't really matter. Like we didn't have Netflix until I was 12. We didn't do any of that. And
Okay.
Netflix had been around for a few years. But I just remember, like, for me, the internet I associate it with like moving and growing up and 12, so puberty, I guess. Which I guess pros and cons. But I lost my train of thought.
No, I know what you're trying to say though. Like, so yeah, so you were wait, Virgin Islands. Where exactly is that?
So Florida, way over here, Jamaica, then further south, east, Puerto Rico, and then a little bit to the south, a little bit to the east, I think, as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Is this 4 islands called Saint Croix, St. John, St. Thomas, and Water Island, right?
Cool.
I grew up on the biggest one, which is Saint Croix.
Okay.
Yeah, till I die, right? That was our little hand sign. I kind of forgot it, but
Cool.
yeah, my dad worked at the refinery there.
Okay. And then you moved when you were 12.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Living on an island. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was. Our school was an old abandoned hotel that they renovated into a school, and it was like on the beach. So you could walk 10 feet from math and be on the beach.
Oh my God. Math, 2 seconds away from a beach. Wow.
Yeah.
So different from the way I grew up.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in a little place called Orleans in Ottawa, which is the capital of Canada. And I lived and went to school with like, people in my neighborhood. So it was very small. Like I knew everyone kind of thing. And yeah, coming to the city was like much better for me though. I'm a city girl for sure.
I'm the opposite. I'm such a like homebody. I love I always have this like recurring fantasy, like becoming a lesbian and owning a farm, which I can't do either of those things because I'm sure. I mean, I can't wake up when the sun gets up. Are you kidding me?
You could do whatever you want. If you want to become a lesbian, you could probably do it. In this day and age, Do it.
I don't think I could quite pull that off. I don't think that's the path for me.
But a farm, you'd love a farm, eh?
Like that's the dream.
Yeah.
I always like, people are always asking you like, if you couldn't do theater, what would be the one thing you had to do?
Mm-hmm.
And I always think, God, I wish I could be a farmer.
You could put on shows in the barn. Like that would be a perfect place to, you could light it. You could have a speaker, and then bam, there you are. You're a performer and a farmer.
Yeah, but like in this fantasy of mine,
Okay.
hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like performance doesn't even exist. It's not a concept within my vicinity. I'm just a farmer, right?
What?
I farm carrots or something, right?
Okay.
I live a life. And in my mind, this life is simple. I don't know anything about farming. I hope I'm not offending any farmers. I know that what they do is super hard, but in my mind, I want to do it more than anything because it makes sense to me. You wake up, you pluck the carrots, you go to bed, you sell the carrots, or what? I don't know.
You go to bed and then you sell carrots. Yeah.
I'm sure I'd be the worst farmer ever, but I'd like to try.
Oh, I hope that happens. I hope that happens for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Billy Ray Cyrus has a whole ass farm.
Mm-hmm.
How ridiculous is that?
He's quite the guy. Yeah, we were talking a little bit about Miley Cyrus on Joe Rogan's podcast, and just like how she grew up in the spotlight, having to be this famous character of Hannah Montana, but then also wanting to be sexually, open and wanting to experiment with drugs and be, who she actually is, this farm girl, this country girl. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how you don't really know what celebrities go through. Like you don't actually know who they are.
Yeah. And then there's the tabloids, whole thing. But I think for celebrities, it's like almost all of them have like a secret, like that. That's why people like Sia exist and Daft Punk now. They've seen how celebrities' lives get mismanaged and written about in tabloids and just things that aren't true or things that put them in a bad light. And it's like now we have these people who are like the new age of celebrities who are not defined by literally how they look. Like you can't recognize them on a street.
Yeah, Sia covering half her face, but her voice just being the only thing that we listen to and that we like, and the little wig she puts on, like that's all she needs, really. She's so talented.
Yeah.
I think about Shia LaBeouf putting on like a paper bag on his head. Remember that? When he was at a red carpet event. This was like maybe 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. And he was at a red carpet event. He like put holes in a paper bag and wrote, "I am not famous anymore." And walked around like that.
Wow.
So that's something.
Wow. Shia LaBeouf surprises me.
He does. Have you seen like his new movies?
Oh, I saw something about peanut butter.
Yeah, I didn't see that one, but I saw like oh shoot. Honey Boy?
I didn't see that one. No. I liked him in Holes. That was a good one.
That was a good movie.
That 2000? Was it the year 2000?
For sure. It was like right at the beginning of the new millennia.
Wow.
I don't even remember what we were talking about at this point. This is how great our conversations always are, though. It's just so nice.
Yeah. It's good to talk to you again, too.
I feel like we should explain where we met. We met at this weird ass place called the Performing Arts Project. About a year and a half ago now. A year ago. And I remember we were in rehearsal for an R&D that I won't say the name of, with Gavin Creel and Lindsay Lab. What's her last name? Lindsay Lab, right?
Lindsay Lab.
Yes. And I remember we were learning this song that we were supposed to perform, and you were taking the lead. And I was so nervous. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But you took on this song with so much gusto and so much humor, all like right from the start. And I'll never forget that moment because I really was just so inspired by the way that you like just took charge of this song.
Wow. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I just wanted to tell you that. I feel like I haven't been able to tell you that.
That's so sweet. You know, I was mortified. So that's so nice to hear.
Why? Why were you mortified?
It was Gavin Creel.
It was Gavin Creel.
And like, I don't know many celebrities, but I knew him.
Mm.
And I'd heard all his albums, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's Gavin Creel."
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying so hard to play it cool. I was like, "I'm not gonna freak out. I'm not gonna freak out," but I was freaking out, right?
Me too. I was like, I remember you from Millie. I remember you from Millie. I remember you from Millie.
Well, you saw him in Millie?
I never got to see him live, but like just listening to his voice, like in person, after I'd listened to, you know, What Do I Need with Love for so many years.
And like his voice is just as effortless in real life. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But no, I was mortified. But it was so nice to get to play, and you know, like we can't talk about the song.
We can't.
It's not released yet, but I'll say this. It's like one of those songs that like could be done as a solo in a way, but I'm so glad it wasn't, because getting to play with you, oh my god, my cat just
Cinder the tail.
because you know, getting to play with you in that bit where you did the you know what I'm talking about?
Where my foot was in the air. And
Yes.
I flexed and pointed my foot on like the beat of the music. Oh god. That was weird. I don't know why I did that.
No, it was perfect, and it was so great to play off of each other and play with each other. And you know, it became an ensemble piece, and I loved that it was an ensemble piece because it was just so riveting. I feel like collaboration is just like the bane of so many people's existence. And I've been listening to a lot of interviews on like famous people, and they're like, I hate collaborating. Collaborating is the worst. And I'm like, wow. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know, collaboration is the only way in my mind to get things done super quickly, and like the best possible outcome can happen with collaboration. Because like, yeah, Lin did Hamilton, but he didn't do it alone. You know, he had a bunch of people helping him, giving him advice. And like, no matter how genius you are, I guess only Shakespeare really could have written things alone and had them be truly magnificent. Because if you put 5 heads together, you're gonna get something kick-ass. And if you put 1 head together, it's gonna be really good. Does that make any sense?
Absolutely, it does. Yeah, I agree with you. I think you're right. I think if we want to make things quickly or efficiently, right, like in a productive way, then we need other people.
Yeah.
There's no way that one person could produce and act and write the musical direction and set up the lights and be the backstage manager, you know, like there's so many people that need to be involved for something to work.
Yeah, so it was so nice to just get to play with each other.
Yeah. Try out things. Some things didn't work. Like I remember we like missed a line or something when we actually did the performance, but it was fine. Like we worked it, you know.
He changed the lyrics on me.
Yeah.
I was in our little dorm rooms. I was like drilling the song at night. I was like, I have to memorize this. I have to get it by tomorrow. And then he changed the lyrics, and I was like, fuck. What am I gonna do?
Of course. The day before.
I'm glad he did, because it did work better, and you know, collaboration. You know, he said, let's do this, and at first I was like, oh, I don't know, but then I'm glad we did.
Me too.
Oh,
yeah. It's so funny that like TPAP actually works. Like there's so many things about it that would be messy and probably wouldn't work. There's so many people involved too. Like how many people did we have our year? Like 60?
I think it was 82.
80 or something. Yeah. Like that's a lot of people. That can be like very crowded and very doesn't give a lot of people opportunities. But for some reason, it works. TPAP just, everyone feels included. Everyone has a chance. Everyone can learn from each other, take all these wonderful classes. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it wouldn't work
Absolutely.
in some ways.
Yeah, if you look at the raw numbers, it shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Like 82 people and like 20 faculty, like that's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way that should work. But like my therapist is always saying like, you know, you can look at the raw numbers and stats, or you can look at the actual people individually. And if you look at the people individually, then you can do things with people individually.
Hmm.
You know, if you're like, oh, we got 12 kick-ass dancers who could like do Jerome Robbins' mistake waltz, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can do that with 12 kick-ass dancers. Or if you're like, wow, that kid has got just a knack for comedy, and that girl's got a knack for comedy, they should do a scene from Neil Simon or whatever. You know, just like,
Mm-hmm.
it's about, it's not about looking at like, we got 82 people here. What are we going to do with these 82 people to get, you know, a kick-ass educational experience? It's like, oh, we got Bri, Ricardo, Kristen, Jacob, Chase.
Mm-hmm.
What are we going to do with those 5 people?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's so much better. It's, you know, it's specific.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Good artist specific, whatever. But
it like every single person that comes has something to offer.
exactly. Yeah. And it's all very different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Company 8 was so different, I'm sure, from your first time going.
Yeah,
right?
I went to Company 7 and 8.
Yeah.
Company 7, nothing like Company 8. For me, I really gelled more with Company 8. I loved Company 7, don't get me wrong, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I found you in
I
Company.
know.
And I knew Kristen Wisniewski in
Mm-hmm.
Company 7, but I really got to be friends with her in 8.
Nice. Yeah, coming back the second time, you probably had like a lot more knowledge of what was going on, and
Yeah.
I want to go back. I can't right now. But I feel like my second time or future times that I go or be a part of it, like I feel like I would just take more risks. I was so like closed up the first few weeks, just feeling like confused about why I was there. Also, I'm not in a musical theater program. I don't study like acting directly, but I as a dancer, like I thought there were so many links, and I was able to pull from so many different people and learn so much about dance, you know, through, you know, your song of Man of La Mancha, or like, you know,
Oh yeah.
when oh gosh, when like Kristen did Funny Girl in our class.
I think about that
Oh,
so much.
it's
That
so
was
good, right?
amazing.
Kristen, if you're listening, you need to record a version of that. It's crazy how good you are at that. But yeah, there's just so many things to pull from. So I think I wanted to do more, because that place is so, there's so much growth that can come from that place.
Yeah, absolutely. And like for me, because I'm not a dancer. I don't know about labels.
Don't
Labels are
say
for other
that.
people. They're not for me.
Yeah, true. You're a
I
performer.
dance. I'm not a professional dancer. Whatever.
You can get down.
I like to call myself an actor though, right?
Hmm.
And for me, like finding like those ballet classes were hard as hell for me. But you know, I was like finding, you know, things about acting within them, and watching Ellen Winter's song collection. Were you in that group?
Mm-hmm. Well, the last one?
The one where she sung her songs from her album?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
listen
I was
to
in
that. Like,
I know.
so many different mediums. There was the stand-up comedy one taught me so much.
Oh my God, so much. Yeah, Neil Patrick Stewart, like, his knowledge and the way he taught too is really, really, really great. Because I didn't know anything about comedy coming in, but I felt like I left knowing a lot more.
Yeah, he has a way of just like putting the attention on the individual and not on the situation.
Yes.
You know?
That's totally it. I think a lot of teachers do that. Yeah. At TPAT.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard they did an online version this year, and I wonder what that would have been like.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't get to go to that one, but I heard good things.
Mm-hmm.
Now my cat is. Look at this. For you listeners at home, my cat is sitting on my arm right now, being cute as hell.
Cinder. Such a great coat of fur, like the black.
Yeah.
It's like Salem from Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
She's a handsome little kitty.
Mm-hmm. So what's next for you? What are you? I know you're still kind of in school, but not really, and you're going to a new university though. You said like you're applying to a new place.
Yeah, I'm applying to 4 schools
Okay,
for acting, straight acting this time.
that's great.
I'm still dancing actually, which I never would have expected. But my friend has been teaching me ballet twice a week,
That's great.
and I've been doing that since April. So I'm still dancing, I'm still singing, I'm still acting. And I'm taking classes at studios. What's next for me? I don't know. College, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
For the next few months, I'm a Door Dasher, so
Nice.
I do that. I get to
Mhm.
listen to Dolly Parton while I do that. That's fun for me. I don't know if I should talk about this, but I'm gonna anyways.
Okay,
I
yay.
found out last night that I'm gonna be directing a show.
What? That's
For-
amazing.
Kids. Thank you. I'm really excited. I don't know what it's gonna be. It's I mean, I know it's Schoolhouse Rock,
Okay.
but I don't know where we're rehearsing or any of that. It's gonna be awesome, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's a community theater that I grew up at,
Aw.
and I love it. It's a very full circle moment for me. I'm
Yeah.
happy to be working there and excited to get to direct because I haven't directed in forever.
Hmm.
And
That's gonna be great to come home and like try something in a new position now. Like you get to lead, you get to be an influence for these kids.
yeah, it's such a big responsibility in a way that I'm like mortified,
Hmm.
but also I hope I can leave a good influence and hopefully these kids will take something away from it,
Mm-hmm.
like teaching theater as an educational tool is just such a powerful thing.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Like if you get anything away from it, it's empathy and speaking skills. And that's just like such a kick-ass combo.
Those are huge, huge things for kids to learn, especially right now.
Yeah.
Empathy, to be patient with other people, to feel for them, to sympathize. Like, I hope more kids involve themselves in theater,
Yeah, me too.
Do you know, like, is it going to be performed outside or is it in a theater?
These are great questions. I just don't have
Okay.
the answers. I don't know.
You just found out. You just found out last night.
Yeah, my boss was like, we might do rehearsals on Zoom. I was like, all right, I'm down. Whatever it is, I'm down. That sounds awesome. And I love Schoolhouse Rock.
Mm-hmm. You're ready for it. You're like, I need something to do. I need to be involved in something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Good. Oh, that's so great to hear. You're going to be a great director.
Oh, thank you. I really, really hope so.
Yeah.
If I can just keep my attention on one thing.
How many kids is it? Is it like, is it 30 or is it like 10?
I don't know, 4, 80.
Oh, okay.
We'll find out. I literally found out last night. Which,
Yeah.
I didn't ask many questions. I was too excited.
You're just like, I'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't know. I'll let you know when I find out. But
Please, yeah. I hope it's like free for the public to see or something. If it's going to be online, maybe.
oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that would be wonderful if that could happen. So many things in the air, but
Yeah. Although I feel like I'm a little bit maxed out on how many like online plays I've seen recently or like readings of plays.
really.
Do you know what I
Wow,
mean?
how many?
Like there's so many things like cast reunions where they like read a script from an old show and I'm just like, oh, like I don't want to see you read it. I want to see you perform it or act it in the film,
You know, I've been really stubborn and I haven't watched one of those.
Good.
Not even
Don't.
the Parks and Rec one.
Oh,
Was it
okay.
good?
Well, it was, but I mean, I was like a big Parks and Rec fan, so
Me too.
I don't know. Okay, well,
I-
yeah.
I couldn't. I was
Mhm.
like, I for so long I was like, I refuse to believe this is real.
Yeah.
Like this can't be where we're going. Like Patrick Page did, I think Henry V,
Oh, wow.
and on Zoom, and somebody was like, you should watch it, and I just remember being like, I don't know that I'm ready for this yet. This is near the beginning. What I've discovered is that like there's so much already recorded material, like from pre-COVID, that I've
Yeah.
really dug into. Like I've watched like a dozen Shakespeare from the 80s BBC productions.
Cool.
They're all really good. Helen Mirren is in some of them,
Oh, I bet she's great.
and I'm like, yo, like this is the shit.
Yeah. To catch up almost.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. I feel behind too. I'm like, oh, I have all this free time. Well, not so much anymore. But at the beginning of quarantine, I was like, I had all this free time. I should just catch up. I should watch, like American Psycho or like, the things that I never got a chance to see just because they weren't on my radar.
Yeah. We should do that sometime. We should like Zoom and like watch the same movie, like an old class. Have you ever seen Fight Club?
No.
Me either.
But that's on my list, Like
Right?
it's like you should watch Fight Club, Yeah, I will.
Let's watch Fight Club.
We can do a Netflix party or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
that's
Is
that.
that what?
I think so.
I don't know. I've never done one. I'm actually too old for that.
I used to use Screener, but that one is like, I don't know. I can't use technology. I'm not very good at it, but we can figure it out.
We'll figure it out. We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
We'll watch I've been watching. Have you ever seen the Saw franchise?
No, I haven't. No. You see, that's another one.
Let's watch that. I only saw the first one, so we'll watch it together. There's 7 movies apparently.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
All right. I'm down.
It's happening.
Amazing.
Okay, well, I hope everything goes well with your directing and with your door dashing. I think it's great. We need door dashers. I don't at all undermine that job. I think it's important. And thank you for sitting with me.
Thank you for having me. I'm so glad I finally got to be on this podcast.
I know.
Love you so much, and I'm so glad we could chat,
Mm-hmm.
just catch up, and have a good ass time.
I know. That's all I need right now. I just need some comedy. I need some good ass time with my friends, with the people that I love and that I care about.
Well, I'm honored to be on that list.
Mm-hmm. Give a big hug to Cinder for me.
I will. She's over there licking herself now.
As cats do.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to pause the recording, but we can keep talking.
All right.
Thank you so much for listening to the Art Versations podcast. If you like what you heard, the best way to help the podcast is to subscribe or follow on your preferred podcast platform and leave a review. As well, follow the podcast on Instagram at artversationsPod. You'll find photos of each of my guests so you can match a voice to a face and highlight clips from each episode. Let's keep the conversation going. Send in a DM with your own thoughts about art, as well as any questions you think I should ask my guests. The podcast community continues to grow, and that is all because of you, listener. All bodies are dancer bodies, and all lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter. Till next time.
Time. My name is Broadway Classic.
Let's hear it.